The world. It's a dangerous place, so quit being a pussy and come to our gym.
You've been a weak little wallflower all your life. It's time to take control.
Huh! You could be next. Scenario 1.
You're in the crowd at an 80s cover band concert. And some dick keeps shoving you around. Now, if you're not able to de-escalate the situation, risk control. Now let this heathen know that the 80s was the golden era of rock, and music nowadays lacks authenticity. Now get out of here before somebody calls the cops.
Now, you're not always going to have the advantage of being on a level playing field.
Scenario 2.
You're an offender bender. It was probably a woman. Statistically, their big tits obstruct their vision while they drive. Fortunately, we're dealing with a rational man. First get risk control, then exchange information.
Now I'm a firm believer in equality, and that means you don't have a right to cut in front of me for anything.
Scenario 3.
You're in line to buy a $12 Dixie cup of Coors Light when you've been cut. It's your patriotic duty to return order. But if the defector's body language turns threatening, risk control. Now remind this traitor why he lives in the greatest country in this God-given planet.
As hardworking Americans, we put our back into our wages. So when I see a shameless freeloader, my patriotic blood boils.
Scenario 4.
You're on your way to watch women work out at the gym when a shameless freeloader is attempting to shake you down. Now there's nothing more infuriating than an American who refuses to work. First, disarm the bottom feeder. Now take control of the situation. Let this lowlife know that it's time to pick up his bootstraps and get a mortgage. But if this lowlife starts spouting off some bullcrap about mental health, well, you've done all you can. Now it's time to reap the reward for raising the consciousness of those around you.
What's the single greatest threat to this country?
Violent religious extremists. Scenario 5.
You're in your living room, thinking about tits, when could it be your dad finally coming home with that milk? Or maybe it's your hot neighbor. It's a terrorist. Justifying violence with religion is a tale as old as time, but not in this country. This is a home invasion. Risk control! Now disarm this terrorist and check him for any bombs!
A good indicator of a weak man is if he lets his woman walk all over him.
Final scenario.
You're on a date. She's a 6, but if she took her diet more seriously, she could easily be a 7. She's got big tits and perky little nipples, which helps round out her character. You're just about to educate her on why the masculine male is a dying breed in our society, when the waiter drops off the check. The busty bimbo sits for a minute before making her assault on your masculinity. Risk control! Drop your debit card on the bill. Now that you've initiated contact with the dumb slut, tell her you had a great time and you'd like to go on a second date. What a bitch!